What's good, bro? What's up, sis? What's up, fam? So, man, I want to give y'all a backstory first, and then I'm gonna jump into what we talking about today. So, I was coming home from out of town, and my grandma, I don't know how they get on this conversation, but my grandma and my auntie, they were talking about me. They were like, I think he got great discernment, and I was like, they thought I had my earphones in, but I was listening, and I was like, that's crazy, cause I do. And then I asked her, I was like, why you say that? And she was like, well, when you was born with a veil over your head. Of course, I ain't know what that mean either. Y'all probably don't even know either. So I asked her, what does that mean? She was like, when you was a baby, you was seeing stuff. You would see stuff. You know how cats be chasing stuff in the house. They be seeing stuff. That's how I was. I was seeing stuff when I was baby. Probably spirits. Who knows? So I was like, dang, why y'all ain't never tell me that? And before this, my mom told me back in the day, I used to just stare at the picture of Jesus when I was a baby. So all this is no coincidence that, you know what I'm saying, that I feel chosen. That when I was growing up, I felt like the world was mine. I felt like, I was the only person in this world. Like, I felt like I was the main character, which I was. But the thing I had to learn growing up, the reason I had to transition into, living and seeing things in another way, is because of like the energy I was holding in that word is mine. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking that everybody else don't even matter. I was so selfish, you know. So I had to realize that I'm not the main character, but I am the main character in my movie. I had to realize I had to treat everybody just like I treat myself. You know what I'm saying? With the same unconditional love, with the same respect. I just had to realize that. But I also had to realize, you know what I'm saying, that the power's within, that I am the main character in my movie. For when people try to take advantage, for when, it's not all, equal give and take. So they just really made me like, dang, cause I ain't, it came together. It wasn't no coincidence anymore that I was doing all this, that we be doing all this. We are chosen ones, bro. We the Hebrew children, man. What they be talking about, we them, And you probably don't even know your gift. You probably don't know how gifted you is. Like I didn't know how gifted we was. I didn't know. My uncle, he's a preacher, but he really is an apostle. Apostle is a preacher that's over preachers. You know what I'm saying? That got churches. He got churches under him. You know what I'm saying? So he an apostle, and he been having this church for 21 years. I'm 21, so there was no coincidence. And then he got the gift of prophecy. He got the gift of prophesizing. So God been touching our family, touching my family, just, you know what I'm saying? Then not only my uncle, but my granddad was a preacher too. So God been touching, you know what I'm saying, my family for generations, bro. And there's no coincidence that we gravitate to his word and want to spread it. It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that when I was a baby, I was seeing things. It was no coincidence that when I was a baby, I was looking at a picture of Jesus, just staring at it all the time. So, bro, these things that we be going in our life, bro, it's all to build us to who we are, who we truly are, bro. Like, you ain't gonna understand it. You probably ain't gonna know. Like my people could have been told me, you know what I'm saying, about this. But it wasn't time. It wasn't time for them to tell me that. You know, it was in divine timing. I asked my grandma, I was like, why you ain't been telling me this? They're like, I don't know. I don't know. You know? Because it was in divine timing. So, bro, I just want to let y'all know that anything that we go through, bro, it's just to build us up, make us stronger, improve us, you know? Ain't nothing to, you know, downgrade us, even though some things make us, you know, feel down. It's only to make us go back up, you know? So, bro, that's really all I wanted to speak on. Just use your experiences and capitalize off them, because you may not know that it's to improve you. You may not know, you know what I'm saying, where you came from or the origin or why you chosen. Just know that you chosen. You chosen, bro. I know you chosen because we all connected. That was my story. There was a little backstory. It wasn't even too deep, just a little backstory, you know what I'm saying? Just to connect us, you know. Stories connect us. That's what I wanted to do. That was my intentions, and it did what it had to do. So with that being said, I love y'all, man. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, share.